we are having active, fruitful discussions with the Ministry of Transport and other stakeholders on how best to have more access to Kenya through the skies. And I believe that this will not take inordinately long. So in the coming months, we will be able to announce what we have found and which airlines will then be licensed, but it is very good work in progress. I'm very happy to be in this beautiful, coastal, magical city of Mombasa. I'm even more happy to note that as of this morning, Mombasa is full. It was difficult to get flights for some of the travelers, while we couldn't also get a different venue because many venues are full, which is a good indicator of the year 2025. I remember that the year 2025, 1st of January, started on a Monday. It is said that when New Year falls on a Monday, it presents good tidings, but we will see that at the end of the year or the next time that we are reporting results for the year 2025. And I therefore feel very pleased today to present the 2024 Annual Tourism Sector Performance Report alongside the Climate Change and Tourism Sustainability Report. The Annual Sector Performance Report provides an in-depth analysis of the sector's performance in 2024, highlighting key trends, achievements, and challenges like we have seen in the detailed report. It is such a good milestone that Kenya welcomed 2.4 million international tourists in 2024, and this translates to a 14.6% increase from 2023 numbers. The 2024 inbound tourism earnings rose, like we have seen, to 452.2 billion Kenya shillings, a 19.79% growth compared to 2023, and this is an indicator that good things are happening. The United States remained the largest source market at 12.8% of total arrivals, followed by Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, at 9.2%, and Tanzania at 8.49%. The UK, India, Italy, Germany, and China reclaimed their space as leading source markets to our destination. Meanwhile, on the overall, East Africa and the other African countries have marked impressive growth, especially in the business and conference segments. I'm pleased to note the emergence of source markets that have not hitherto been our best before. In the ranking of the fastest growing source markets are new entrants that includes the Czech Republic, Poland, South Korea, Brazil, Portugal, Japan, Australia, Canada, Denmark, Turkey, Belgium, and Sweden. I just returned from Australia on Monday. Last year, 11 million tourists from Australia visited the whole world, like you have seen in our numbers. only 27,000 chose Kenya, and that is quite a big potential. And I came back with key lessons and recommendations on how we can further tap into that emerging market. This is a clear indication that our efforts, especially in diversifying products offering and expanding source markets, are bearing fruit. The introduction of new experiences such as cultural tourism, sports tourism, and adventure tourism has continued to attract a wider range of travelers, resulting, thankfully, in stamping Kenya's reputation as a sustainable tourism destination. Our aim is to ultimately increase arrival numbers while encouraging longer stays and higher per capita spend. Moving forward, we will be more intentional in curating experiences that are in sync with emerging global trends. This will include embracing sustainability and eco-conscious tourism, wellness tourism. I look forward to presenting Kenya as a wellness savanna. It is said that if you do your wellness in Savannah, it touches the innermost part of mankind. And I look forward to working with all of you, the stakeholders, to present our wellness Savannah. We also need to invoke technological advancements and encourage the growth of solo travel, among other modern-day learning initiatives. We have already embarked on improving visitor experience at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is a crucial gateway to Kenya and the larger Eastern Africa region. This matter is now a standing item at Cabinet, and I look forward to having all the issues that have been identified at the airport resolved expeditiously. This point of entry, that is JKIA, accounts, like we have seen, to almost 70% of all our arrivals. The government has taken deliberate measures to put in place an ever-improving visitor experience with regard to basic infrastructure and aesthetics. Forthwith, there will be additional immigration booths and introduction of e-gates to enhance efficiency, as well as smoother customs clearance experience. We shall also have modernized covered walkways and baggage handling systems. And to improve security, only licensed facilitators will be allowed at the airport moving forward. My ministry, through the KTB, has also been tasked with improving the branding of JKIA to present the magical Kenya. Besides, we are also improving the electronic travel authorization system consistent with recommendations from stakeholders and visitors' feedback. And I'm sure those of you who have been following, especially the cabinet communication and dispatch, these are matters that are receiving the attention at the highest level. This will culminate in faster approval, turnaround, and heightened stability of the system support infrastructure. We have introduced multi-entry ETAs and also express or instant authorizations. We have gone further to propose the exemption of key segments of African travelers from the ETA process to ease the overall ease of access or entry and opening or openness of Kenya. Further, the introduction of new airlines and specifically the entry of Air Asia, Air Dubai, and the relaunch of Brussels Airlines will, in the fullness of time, increase air connectivity and make Kenya more accessible to the rest of the world. It will also significantly increase international arrivals. I'm happy to report that we are having active discussions which are quite fruitful with the Ministry of Transport in regard to having more access. And we hope that in the coming months, the process will be concluded. And especially authorizing those that had been licensed before COVID. We are actively discussing that. We will also continue exploring more avenues of opening up our country with due consideration of the input we continue to receive from stakeholders on various ways of liberalizing our skies and getting more access. I am very glad that we are determined to have a robust interaction with the private sector, with the county governments, and all the players in the tourism sector. And I want to assure you, CEC, that the recommendations you have given, we will take them up immediately and start the discussions. As we take all these measures, we call upon private sector players to accelerate the adoption of digital platforms for optimized visitor experience. Notably, online booking systems and virtual tours simplify trip planning while encouraging increased visits. Promotion of green certificates and carbon neutral accommodation will also be vital for increased competitiveness. Other measures that we need collaboration between government and the private sector include the expansion of cruise tourism infrastructure, investment in world-class conference facilities, and even expansion of accommodation facilities, and adoption of AI-driven services, smart energy management, and digital wayfinding to enhance visitor experience. Indeed, we have an advantage because Kenya's energy is 96% green or renewable. We are actually selling a green tourism destination. If we consolidate our efforts and energize effectively and synergize ourselves, Kenya is projected to receive 3 million tourists by this time next year and generate Kenya shillings 560 billion shillings in earnings in 2025, while targeting 5 million arrivals by 2027. On that note, inshallah, I look forward to the announcement of the report next year at a time like this. In our efforts to ensure that we cement our position as a leader in sustainable tourism, we made commitments at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. We committed to a 100% conversion of our tourist transportation to renewable energy by 2030, among a raft of other crucial deliverables. In efforts to actualize these commitments, the Tourism Research Institute was tasked to undertake a broad study to provide the baseline measurements, parameters, and frameworks towards the achievement of targeted commitments. The study report is now complete. It aligns with the government's plan to increase Kenya's green cover by at least 30% by the year 2032 by growing 15 billion trees. The Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife aims to growing 600 million trees by 2032. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you of the government's commitment, of my ministry's commitment, and my personal commitment to walk the journey with you to maintain a robust relationship, receive your feedback and your suggestion so that we improve our numbers. And so, the combined visitor numbers for 2024 stands at 7.568 million. This includes 2.4 million international inbound tourists and 5.1 domestic tourists. I would like to state that this does not include the domestic tourists who put up in unregistered accommodation facilities. I am informed that could account for another 10%, that is Airbnbs and other homestays. The prevailing trajectory justifies our 5 million international inbound visitor target annually by the year 2027. I'm also very glad to note another number, that our bed nights have increased from about 8.5 million in 2023 to 9.99 something bed nights, easily said as 10 million bed nights. And therefore, I'm happy that we are having a positive report. I know together we shall reshape tourism horizon one day at a time and make ours the most coveted destination in the continent. And I know that together we shall not stop until we have the most thriving tourism sector that exists.